Sandy,
Chucky,
we are back.
we're back and we have a very, very, very special guest.
I could say it could be Venice royalty is what we have. We have the one and only Harry.
I guess
Perry.
royalty, that's an English thing.
Yeah. Well, isn't Trump a king these
Well,
days?
he's made himself one.
You know, I think something like that.
He has become one.
Exactly. So we're lucky to get you today because, well, I guess lucky for us. I don't know if it's lucky for you or not, but it's pouring with rain outside.
Yeah, that's why I have time.
So do you ever take a day off?
Not deliberately.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually, if I'm doing something, it's related to the project. I guess that's what I could call it.
Yeah. So for anyone who isn't aware, Harry has basically been street performing, among other things, on Venice.
I would just call it entertaining because I sort of gravitate towards what's gravitating towards me.
Yeah.
Talk a little
That's
bit
why
about
I'm
that.
here right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I was trying to have a career. It's that you walked up to me and you had something for me to do with you.
Yeah.
And sort of that's the way that it's been.
Yeah.
I would feel like, I like what you just said about you came here just for, what, a couple weeks and then you stayed?
I was going to come here to see if I could do something interesting because I was in this play called Hair.
You were?
Yeah, I was cast at the same time Meatloaf.
Oh, wow.
At the Venice Pocket Theater in Detroit.
Yeah, because you're from Detroit originally.
Yeah, so that we were back then. There wasn't like television and everything like there is now.
Yeah.
So people actually went out to the theater to see performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so there were quite a few casts, but I was in the high energy Motor City cast.
Yeah.
So that's amazing you were in Hair. What character did you play?
I originally was cast as Burger, but by the time the show opened, Michael Campbell was the Burger. So that's I understudied Burger and HUD.
That's a big deal.
The thing that was a big deal was, for me, is once you're in those shows, then you're in equity. I don't know if you know what that is. And when you're in equity, then you could join. Back then, there were 3 unions, 4: Equity, AFTRA, SAG, and Hollywood Musicians Union. And so that was my entry card to the union. And so that made the unions in California available because once you're in one union, you can join the others.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can join the others, especially if you're a Taft-Hartley. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't.
That's when you get a flick and you get a part and you play that part and you're not in the union yet. They called it getting Taft-Hartley'd. Now, what all those words actually mean, we'd have to Google it because I didn't pay attention. I just understood that I was Taft-Hartley'd, and that's how I got in my first flick. Because the director...
What was your first flick?
Let me think. You Can't Hurry Love. Because the director walked up to me. He was not the director the first time he walked up to me. Like that's what I'm talking about, people intersecting with me at the beach. And he was like really loaded and he thought that I was weird. And he it's a big guy with glasses and I guess he was the writer and director. He says, I'm going to put you in my frickin' movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't think anything of it. He was all drunk and covered with sand and was wearing blue jeans. But then he came back like a month or so later, all dressed up in a suit with a pad. And he says, I want you to come to my office. You're going to be in my movie. So that was the first one.
Oh, wow.
The first movie where I was like speaking and performing.
Okay.
I mean, because a lot of times you can become an extra where you get paid a few bucks. But so that was my Taft-Hartley experience.
Okay. Great.
You Can't Hurry Love.
You Can't Hurry Love. And did they film you on the beach here in
Yeah, yeah.
Venice? Okay, we're gonna have
Yes.
to look for
Yeah.
a clip of that.
And what sort of year is this then? This is
Yeah,
when?
this is like a long time ago, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is a really difficult thing for me, is to sit and try to go through the recollection, to go through the memory
Yeah.
of 50 years ago.
I have difficulty remembering what I had for lunch yesterday, let alone
I
50
can
years ago.
speak about some things, but if you ask me details like you started to do, it's hard for me to remember the actual details because
Yeah.
it's been so long
It's
ago.
been long.
And it's been every year multiple experiences on different levels with different people. And sometimes I would have the experience and not know it was them until it was showing someplace or happening someplace. Because Venice is one of those places, even 50 years ago, where the movie industry would come and use it as a backdrop, a staging area, especially cop shows.
Yes, definitely.
You were in CSI or CIS.
CSI, yeah.
Well, I think
That was way later. That's more recent than the past.
Yeah.
The past is differently because in the past, there was the Vietnam War. And everyone was getting drafted to go to Vietnam. And so I just felt like the play Hair was an anti-war play. And after that, it was like, after that show experience, it was as though I was continuing as a Hair member, only on the sidewalk instead of in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, anti-war. But here is, I didn't come here with a gig. I came here working on a project with some friends. Tony Newton, who worked for Motown forever. I'm sure he has a million stories to tell. But basically, my idea was to come here and start a project with him.
Okay.
Because he'd been on some of the best records in Motown and been a record producer for a long time.
Okay.
He was a few years older than me. So he had a lot of experience. And I got to work with him a lot.
Did you
and
actually have
learn
a
lot.
record deal, or was it like a production deal, or what sort of deal did you have?
There were deals, but the studio was just there, and I just participated in what was happening.
Yeah.
Because my first place to arrive was 54 East Sound Recorders in Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
And so when I got there, to me, it was an amazing spaceship with the big tape machines, the 2.5 inch, and the huge boards, Neve boards, whatever company, and you know, guys that knew every bit of every minute
and they'd have like
button on the board and how to make it function.
And they have like
in a 16 or 24 track thing. And the thing about at that time, there was no such thing as a Pro Tools or any of that. When you did a record, you had to record stuff, boom. If they were going to edit it, they would take a razor blade and cut the tape.
Wow.
Or they would do what's called ping pong, which is like record from, move something onto like there's the 24 track, you're recording on the 24 track.
And
so they would ping pong, in other words, make a copy of it onto the 16 track.
Yeah. And so fast forwarding to today, you were talking about you're kind of like a jam band, would that be right? Or the music you do now, it's all recorded live, the whole band together?
Well,
or do you do things track by track?
Both.
Yeah.
But I like to create the rhythm track with the band that's going to tour with me.
Yeah.
Because like, for example, the thing that used to be your ticket to making your band work was college radio.
Mm,
But
Oh,
most guys had no idea what that was.
mm,
But if you had a band, like I had this one band member who was really in touch with the fact that he could go into college radios and just take the record and get people to play it
mm, mm.
and talk up our show. And so that's how we would get people to come out to our shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you actually tour?
We
In the past.
created our tours.
Yeah.
We didn't actually tour. Actually tour means you have a hit record
Yeah.
and a manager, and you go out and actually tour in venues.
Yeah.
I had a very different perspective of it all. We're talking about this. People now are trying, when they're like 18 years old, they can go on social media. They can do all these things to make music happen. There was none of that. There was no such thing as a cell phone. Closest thing to cell phone was years later. This house I was living in, Stevie Wonder moved into the mansion, and Mrs. Pearson's property. And he had the main floor, and his managers would come by, and they had suitcases with like 5 phones in it. Yeah. And they were all like cellular or some kind of cordless devices where they could talk to whoever they needed to talk to set up whatever they were going to set up. I didn't get into that part of it.
wow. Almost
But
like
those were-
walkie-talkies.
Yeah, those were like their cell phones back then, and that was like, eons ago. That had to be like 50 years ago. And so that was the closest thing. Other than that, it was just Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Had some kind of a mobile phone in his watch or something. But it was like, there was no such thing as the word app.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was no, those things didn't exist. There was no web.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to say, why would anyone ever need a personal computer? And that was years later.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I used to say that actually myself.
I mean, so much, just so much has changed. But I think, you, again, like I was saying, that Venice itself, talk a little bit about, let people who don't know.
Well, see, this is the thing. For me, it didn't start in Venice. I gravitated to Venice
Why?
because it started in Hollywood. When I came here, I was coming here to hang out in Hollywood. And Hollywood, it's all built up, and there's all these buildings at Hollywood and Highland that just didn't exist. It was,
Oh, wow.
yeah, none of that. There was no railroad and all that stuff, not even close. That was like, they weren't even talking about it. The thing that was there was this big building, I remember, because it was filled with dancers and dance teachers, like right where near the Grauman Chinese.
Yeah, Hollywood and Highland.
Okay.
Yeah.
The famous like Hollywood Walk of Fame area.
Yeah. But those were there. The stars on Hollywood Boulevard were there. And people were trying to get a star. Or maybe they had, some other people told me that they had to pay $20,000 to get there.
Well, I hope you're going to
Their
get a star there one day.
Well, I'm not going to spend $20,000.
Well, no.
Maybe
We'll
somebody
else
will.
will.
Let's start a
You have to
petition.
pay.
We'll start a petition.
So you started in Hollywood.
Yeah, because to me, that was like the thing was to find the right musicians. And in essence, it would have been back then, people didn't call music heavy metal. They would have just called it some kind of rock,
Okay.
but
And Sunset Boulevard, like that.
well, there's a grocery store that's still there, but everybody who was like, really like aspiring to that kind of music, and at 2:00 in the morning when everything started to close, Rock and Roll Ralph's was still open.
Oh my gosh, it's still there.
Yeah.
Where is it?
right over from, I can't remember all the streets anymore.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, I want to
But
go there and walk around.
yeah, Rock and Roll Ralph's, and
Rock and roll
you'd
Ralph.
be amazed at who used to just go there and early in the morning, and all through that's where people went to the grocery store on Sunset Strip at Rock and Roll Ralph's.
Oh my God, I love that.
We're talking 1970s now, are we?
Yeah, 70s,
Yeah.
70s, early 80s.
So once you came over to Venice,
Wow.
were you going back and forth between the two for a while? Or
Yeah,
did you...
that's why I put out this record called Hitchhiking to Hollywood.
Okay. Yeah.
I love that.
That was one of my first records out of Venice. Stephen Terlizzi
Yeah.
recorded me with a band playing Hitchhiking to Hollywood.
Is this,
Oh,
can we,
You get that just as good. Play games with traffic cops. I hope you don't get popped.
is it possible to actually hear this music now? Is it up somewhere or available anywhere?
Probably not.
Yeah.
There are records still floating around in record stores. I probably still have some in my garage,
Yeah.
which might soon disappear.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's hard to hold on to all that stuff for
Yeah.
decades.
I want to hear.
Prices are just going through the ceiling forever.
Yes, I agree. I want to hear about, okay, so I'm imagining like Sunset Strip in Hollywood and
Yeah, people, that's when the rainbow emerged.
Mhm. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because that was a big deal to go to the rainbow and
Mm.
over the rainbow.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at the artists that used to just walk into the rainbow, and that was their place to drink, especially
Yeah.
the old English guys
Yeah.
who weren't so old.
Like who? Who are we talking about
Oh, everybody, like
that you remember?
Elton John.
just everybody in rock and a lot of soul musicians, because soul was a special
Oh.
thing, you know,
I didn't know that.
and
Did-
all kinds of reggae artists
Didn't
who
Pete-
would play at Roxy
Yeah.
afterwards, and everybody, even if they were too big to play at the Roxy, which was next door to the Rainbow. Anyway, Tony the Maitre d', he knew everybody. Remember? Did you ever go there to the Rainbow?
I did. I have.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
Tony started working there, and then that's when the Rainbow really became the Rainbow, because he was such like a suave, you know, the way that he would handle everybody.
Yeah.
That's a special art,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know, and he had it down to a T, where he knew just how to make people feel like they were rock and roll
Oh,
stars.
wow.
And so people that came there got that feeling. And into the night, after the club was closed, the parking lot, there would still be that feeling. People would hang out and get to know each other, you know, and so
That's right. Didn't Pete Townsend,
Rainbow, everybody.
didn't he buy you a drink once or something? Was there a story about that?
Yeah. That's Craig. He was this other guitar player that I hung out with, and because he knew everything. He started taking lessons at the early music, sort of music college,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it was down
Downtown.
in Hollywood. No, it was in Hollywood.
Oh, I know. They had like the Guitar Institute or something.
Yeah,
down there.
Guitar Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
So he did everything he could, spare changing and everything, so he could go take. And so I would like read his books and try to get what he was learning. And so we got a studio. It's like an office. No, I wouldn't call it a studio.
Mhm.
We got an office on Highland, close to Sunset. And see, the thing about Craig was like when he was 16, he lived in Detroit too. That's how I knew him.
Okay.
I mean, people were different, but he was like really different. Who had in Detroit, Birmingham, actually, not even Detroit, Birmingham, that's different than Detroit. 10-gallon hats, cowboy boots, and Marshall stacks with Les Pauls. Who had that in the 60s, you know?
Mm.
Only the weirdest people.
Craig. What's Craig's last name?
Craig Sutherland.
Okay. Craig Sutherland.
Yeah, he's no longer with, he's been dead a long time.
Mm. So what happened with Pete Townsend and Craig?
No, Pete Townsend Craig kept going, come on, dude, let's go to the beach. I said, dude, I don't want to go to the beach. We're here at the Rainbow. We don't need the beach. Look, this is what's happening. The Rainbow.
Mm.
And so Rainbow would always close, and everyone would like move out of the club at 2:00 into the parking lot. And he kept going, we got to go to the beach. So I said, Dilk, dude, there are dogs at the beach. I'm not going to the beach. Pete Townsend just bought us drinks. You got to finish it, dude. Let's just hang right here. And he got me to get up. We couldn't drive anywhere. And we really didn't have cars that would drive. You know, this girl from Detroit gave us a car, but it needed. By the time we had driven it for a while, I wasn't a mechanic. I couldn't fix brakes. So we had to take the bus to the bus stop in Beverly Hills. And the sun was coming up. I said, dude, let's go back to Hollywood. It's gonna be there. The bus came all of a sudden right when I was ready to go back to Hollywood, and took us down to the pretty close. Took us to Ocean Park. Dropped us off at Ocean Park.
Yeah.
I don't know what buses we were taking, but that's where we ended up, and walked down to the beach.
So who knows how things may have turned out if you'd stayed with Pete Townsend that night?
Well, no, it wasn't. We were with him. He was at the Rainbow drinking. It wasn't like anything like that. People have this concept. Here's some English kid drinking at the Rainbow who has a big band. But his band's not there. He's at the Rainbow drinking.
Yeah.
So what do you expect from that? You expect a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, in terms of like, we're going to be on television. I mean, television with these black and white boxes. We were jamming it down on, I still tell this joke because some of these really rich people think they control everything. And so they come out and say, we don't want to hear that now. I live right there over but this was like at where the Sidewalk Cafe is, right next to there. It's a bunch of stores now.
Yeah.
But that used to be people's apartments.
Oh, okay.
But that was where I still like to play at that place where the bathroom is. The bathroom is just
It's this Venice Circle you're talking about.
This is like, if people know Horizon,
Okay.
if they know Venice, they know where Horizon is. And the bathroom.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think the bathroom was just like this little wooden place. But anyway, the people that live there would come out and go, can you turn that down?
Can you
We're
turn it
listening to Walter Cronkite. That's still a joke. Walter Cronkite was so important that we had to stop playing so they could listen to Walter Cronkite.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
That is funny. That is funny.
Venice is like, you have your own special relationship with Venice and the environment and the water and the dogs. Have you changed?
Oh, I know. That was the other thing. When Craig kept going, we got to go to the beach. I told him, there's dogs at the beach, and there used to be these wild dog packs.
Wow.
That would just run free.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
Whoa.
That's what really made the name Dogtown. People think of Venice now the way they've torn down the pavilion and they've torn down the old people's shuffleboard and all that and basically put nothing. But another thing, they did tear down the oil rig and put the skate park there. Now, that was positive.
Wow.
And a lot of the buildings that were down there, they didn't truck them away. They had big machines that ground up the buildings and made the mounds that are over by Windward Avenue.
Okay.
And they used to be from the building down to where the street came in. That used to be the sort of like the slalom area for roller skates.
Really?
There was no little circle where everyone's listened to music and skated around.
Oh my God. Because when you said there's dogs there, I thought, I guess he doesn't like dogs. Wild dogs?
Yeah,
What?
wild
That
dogs
is
doing their own
crazy.
thing.
Do you know,
Totally doing their own thing, running around.
I've only ever seen packs of wild dogs in India. The fact, it
Okay.
just blows my mind to think that you had wild dogs running around in Venice.
They were
That's just
all over the
insane.
city,
But would they?
downtown. But at Venice, they would somehow make it to the beach.
Would they howl at night like this?
No, not so much how barked.
Yeah.
Were you
And-
afraid of them? Were they wild? Like,
They were
Vicious.
really interested in people.
Okay.
They were like doing their own thing.
but you were scared a little.
No, I just didn't want to, I've been bitten by dogs.
Okay.
I didn't want to have to like get a serious bite because I just happened to walk in on the dog's conversation
Yeah.
with some other dog,
Yeah.
and they would give you this tetanus stuff,
Okay.
and it was no joke. So
Oh, wow. So,
you wanted to stay away from dogs unless
So that's
you
why-
had
That's why you got a skateboard, so you could just skate on past them all.
rollers back then. Originally, it was roller skates. You can blame that on Alice.
Yeah.
Alice was like one of the big skate enthusiasts. I mean, other people will take credit for it, but where the Starbucks is that they just started tearing out,
yeah.
that used to be just a parking lot. That building wasn't there.
Okay.
It was a parking lot, and Alice got people to take big trucks down there filled with skates and rent skates out of that parking lot.
Who is Alice?
Alice, Alice.
I've been thinking of Alice from the Brady Bunch.
No. This is no Brady Bunch. She was like, got everybody to wear skates, including me. I said, Alice, how come you couldn't get me some black skates? And I could tell the stuff, and she said, blue is for boys. I said, I'm not wearing no skates. I have a Les Paul guitar. I'm not wearing skates. But she got me to wear them.
She
Mhm.
got you. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did not know that that's why it's called Dogtown.
Well, maybe other people have other stories.
I think
I'm
you're
not the only
right.
story that there is.
But
Mm.
you were around when like Dogtown was hanging out.
The park right now.
Yeah.
That's the dog park.
Yeah.
That was just Hooker Hill. People hung out with their dogs, and the dogs hung out there.
Okay.
But they wasn't all fenced off and
Right.
made for yuppies only.
Yeah.
But real people that had dogs, sort of slept in their car and used that area for their dogs. But later on, I guess it was just a political thing. There were too many people doing things that weren't completely legal, and so they turned it into a dog park. This
Mhm.
neighborhood is just
Wow.
like escalated. You
So,
talk about 15 years ago. How about 50 years ago? That's really
50.
different. When the Vietnam War was happening still, and people were trying to like not be a part of the draft and not go to Vietnam and get their head blown off.
how did you avoid it?
I didn't. I just was like there in plain view,
Yeah.
walking down Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
It's just no one had a cell phone. How are they going to find me?
Yeah.
But the time went on, I guess, and just the war ended and the politics have changed.
Yeah.
But there were kindred spirits here in Venice. I mean, I guess in Hollywood too.
If you believe in spirits, there were just people that, were very anti-war, and they spent a lot of their time in San Francisco, but they would gravitate down here, and that was just like a natural place to be at the beach.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of like smog rules like there are now. There was no Clean Air Acts or anything like that. No one was challenging the government about the environments until they decided that. I remember when I first walked down Hollywood Boulevard, the buses would just spew black smoke. You couldn't even breathe. That's what really made me gravitate towards the beach.
Wow.
On a regular basis.
Wow. And the
Yeah.
beach was, did you find yourself just
The
spending-
old man, Mr. Frank, used to always say, I said, Mr. Frank owned the gingerbread court, and he lived to over 100 years old, and he used to say, I'm here alive because I got to breathe this rare air every day, and I didn't eat my dinner after 6 o'clock. He would say that to everyone every day.
Really?
Yeah. I got to breathe this rare air, and I
Yeah.
didn't eat my dinner after 6 o'clock.
So we did a podcast a few weeks ago with the outrageous title, "Is Venice the most spiritual place in America?" And I notice, I want to ask you about you and spirituality, because you run a lot. And I notice you've got a Sikh name as well. So do you practice any kind of meditation or?
Yeah, I practiced. I went to the Siddhi Singh Sahab by Sarbha Bharjan Singh Khalsa Yogi Ji, his classes, and the teachers that would teach at the ashram on Pruce Road, and had the experience of Kundalini yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan.
You
Yeah.
did?
For years. I got shanghaied into they used to have the tantric yogas, 3 days, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And that was my first experience of tantric yoga. I spent a lot of time going to this club called the Starwood.
Okay.
Mm.
And I remember I did the tantric one Friday night, and I went to the Starwood. And for me, dance was a really big deal. When I came to Hollywood, the way you audition is read Hollywood Reporter or all those magazines, and they would have the auditions printed there.
Right.
You know, that's the way you got your information. It wasn't like it was posted on a website.
Right. Right.
Mm.
And so you could go to these auditions, but
And they would have like the address and everything.
oh yeah,
where to
yeah. It
go.
was like I still think they post a lot, but everything is done on the web now. It's a completely different world. But I was totally into ballet, and I met Stefan Winter. That's another story. There's so many stories here, but
Ballet.
yeah, totally into dance, especially ballet. There were lots of dancers, Russell Clark, all these people who they not only had their own dance classes, but they were producers for different kind of dance projects and films and stuff. But what was I at?
You're talking about yoga.
Oh, yeah.
Tantric.
The tantric yoga was on Friday night, and the first one I got drugged to, invited to, but it cost money. I didn't have money then, but one of the people who had taken on the dress, Sikh, Guru Sikh, invited me to come and take the tantric. And that night, after the tantric, that's what changed everything for me. I never got intoxicated again after that day.
Really?
Nothing.
Why? What happened?
It was such a fantastic experience. I went and danced at the Starwood. At the Starwood, I felt like I was flying. When I did a grand jeté, I could do like pirouettes and just stand there and spin 20 times on half toe. If people know what a pirouette is, just like this, like a top. After I did the tantric, and then come out of that into a grand jeté, I was like, it was a magical experience. To suddenly, I felt like I was just pulled out of a fairy book, and I was one of the goblins. And here comes the fairy that blesses me with a magic spell, and I could just spin and leap and fly in a grand jeté indefinitely. And that was my experience. And it wasn't because it was induced by anything except for the tantric yoga. It opened my energy, my people to understand what a chakra is until you sit in a meditative position for an hour 3 times, in one evening, and then feel the experience, that new to be renewed experience.
Was your Kundalini activated? Is that the proper word? Because something was activated.
There's something that it was they said the way you say it is you have the experience of Chatakala.
Chatakala?
Chatakala.
And
you have the experience of Chatakala.
And you had that.
I have had the experience of Chatakala. Completely induced by sitting still with a partner,
Okay.
and a lot of times there would be some special breathing technique, or you'd have to hold your arms in a position with a partner over your head, or in different positions. I think they're still having
Yeah.
3HO experiences out there.
So you run a lot as well. Do you find running being
I've always
meditative?
been into athletics. That's why I believe I didn't become a drug addict like a lot of people.
And when I say running a lot, you run for like 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you must find that kind of meditative as well, I'm guessing. I mean, what do you think about? That's a lot of time on your feet. And I say that as a marathon runner myself.
Yeah. I don't, it's an experience for me because I used to run pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I don't run that fast, but I can still run. And I see other people like Phil. He'd probably kill me if he's like 80 years old, and you can't run with him. And most people that cannot run with Phil. He is a fast runner at 80 years old. He's very well put together.
Do you see him on the boardwalk running?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the early mornings, like today is Saturday. If it weren't raining, you probably would have seen him today.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think if I've seen him or not, but maybe
he used to wear a mask all the time.
When he was running?
While he was running. He hasn't had the mask on since I came back from the car accident.
So how do you think a runner's high compares to a, say, Kundalini high?
I don't think of it as a high. That's the first thing.
What do you think of it as?
When you run every day, it isn't a high. I think you're developing your heart. It's like, and your life experience comes along with that. As your heart develops until you are no longer with us, or until you're not able to have that experience, then
So do you still practice meditation now? Is that still a part of your routine?
Not quite, because it's so difficult to live.
Yeah.
I don't have an hour to sit and meditate right now.
Yeah.
I have maybe 11 minutes.
Well, could you run for, say, half an hour less? Or is that?
No, I would run half an hour more.
Yeah. Because I've actually thought about this myself as a runner. So Sandra, she's into her meditation, into chanting. And I often think, well, maybe I should run a mile less a day. So that's, say, 10 minutes less, and just do 10 minutes meditating a day. I think that, but
well, it depends
I don't
on
actually do that.
Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You're thinking of it in a different light.
Okay.
When I used to train, it was always to accomplish that space as a runner where you finish your race at 2:30, 2 hours and 30 minutes, marathon.
Yeah.
2 hours and 30 minutes or faster.
Yeah.
So to me, that was the goal. In order to accomplish that goal, there's a certain dedicated amount of time each day that you have to devote.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a spiritual high or anything like that. It was like like training for an athletic event that you weren't necessarily going to win, but you could possibly be paid for if you crossed that 2 hours and 30-minute line.
Did you do that? Did you do a sub 2:30?
No, I did 2:38. I was close, but
that's still really good.
I know.
That's still really good.
You have to run, I would say, every day, the 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
And then another time in the day, you have to do speed work.
Yeah.
Where you do like 40 quarters, 5Ks, or 10 single miles against the clock.
Tell me about
one of those three. And the speed work.
That's what I hate. You know what? Run 20 miles. I can put the headphones on. I can go, no problem. But the speed work days.
That's what makes makes the race drop.
Yeah.
To 2:30 if you can get there.
Yeah.
There are other people that accomplish it, I think, because of their stride, because of their strength. they're able to run continuously with such an even pace stride that they can cross the 2:30, timeline. And to me, the way that they run, it just looks like and seems like it's almost effortless.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of effort. It's a different kind of relaxation.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say. Because when Keith, I used to run with this. He's a 6-time All-American, but he used to tell jokes while we would run.
He would?
He would tell jokes because we'd be running for hours,
Okay.
and people would come up and try to run with us, but they couldn't because it was always sub 6 minutes or 5:30.
What's his name? Keith?
Keith Iovine.
Okay.
He died of a heart attack in his 30s. But before that, he used to always tell stories about the Irishman. He went to Penn State, and he would tell jokes when people came up and tried to run with us.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
It was funny to listen to him joke, and as someone upped the pace, he would be like this race announcer, and they're coming up, like he was like a horse racer or a horse race announcer, and then we would laugh and keep going. But
yeah. So were you always a runner? Were you a runner at school? Or
yeah, definitely in high school that was my thing.
Okay, so it's something
to
you always
run
did.
because football just seemed like, I don't know, just the coaches,
Yeah.
I just didn't see things the way that they did.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. I liked football. I spent a lot of time working with the quarterbacks during the summer. And I just felt like I was spending too much time on the bench.
Yeah.
Not big enough.
Yeah. I was spending why am I sitting here? I'm one of the best halfback quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I spent months training for that position.
Yeah.
And so I just decided that my time was better spent running.
Yeah.
Because then it didn't depend on someone's personal decision. If I were entered in the race, I was going to win.
Yeah.
Well, I like what you said about keeping up with running and how a lot of people turn to drugs, and it'd be really hard to do one or you have to do one or the other.
They're two different cultures. There are people that want to experience that, but you really have to want to develop that heart that I'm talking about. You can't develop that if you're going to take downer drugs or drink too much on a regular basis. I got to say that Keith, he could break 2:30.
Really?
He went to China, Japan a couple times.
Wow.
And I would run with him. I would try, but at a certain point, he could just turn that. And usually it was the Africans too. Around mile 18, they just drop everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. But you had to have that, whatever it is that makes it so that your heart just opens and turns on. That's the only way I can describe it. No one's ever described it to me except for that it was their communion with the divine, where they could, at mile 18, just leave everybody. And it didn't look like they were running any faster. I think their stride was a little stronger. And they would just leave everyone.
Wow.
It's interesting because when you talk about the heart, I think of it metaphorically. So
Physically.
it's physically.
Yeah, it was metaphorically too, but.
And spiritually in a way.
If you believe in spirit, but you don't have to believe in spirit to have that experience.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe in anything except yourself, and that you're going to go beyond that place and time where you can run like that.
Wow.
And the people that I know that can run like that believe it's spirit or some kind of gift from above, that they've just been given the ability to run sub 2:30.
Wow.
And it definitely wasn't because they were smoking dope.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Running is a different experience for me now. Over time, I've run against people that I see year after year in the LA Marathon.
Really?
and in some of the other ones. One of the toughest races is San Diego, because like towards the end of the race, it's like a couple miles literally straight uphill, and there's nothing but the traffic is on the other side of. It's like up the freeway. We call it the highway to hill, but it's the highway to hell, is what they're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they play Highway to Hell on the stereo, and that's the only thing you can hear. And you have to like, you think that you're gonna like make good time because it's after mile 17 and it's like flat in San Diego, just like relatively speaking. But then all of a sudden, it's like the Highway to Hell. It's like, I think it's like a good 2 miles uphill.
That's so
And
painful.
like after you've been running for a long time, to try to accomplish that with speed and energy, it just takes a certain kind of heart.
Yeah. I get running around here though, it's all very flat. You don't really get to practice
really flat
on hills, I guess, unless you go up into sort of Temescal Canyon.
Temescal, that's right. I run uphill. It's Temescal Canyon.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Up to Bodwin. A lot of people will run up into the park.
Yeah.
But that's, or really, I think they run up by the Gelsons. I don't even know if the Gelsons is there anymore. I haven't gone up that far.
Because they had it all closed off during the fires. Did you manage to get over there?
No.
Because I know you
just
could
now.
You could, at Will Rogers, you had to stop and turn around, essentially, didn't you? I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
During the fires.
Chautauqua.
Yeah.
But I know
the turnaround was at Chautauqua.
Yeah.
And then later on, they posted Army just past Chautauqua, almost at the Will Rogers lifeguard station as you come up the hill.
Yeah.
But that was that way for a long time. I still don't trust the environment there.
Yeah.
But as long as I don't know.
I don't.
Don't go in the sand and don't go in the water.
Yeah. When was the last time you actually went into the ocean off of here?
I almost don't go.
Yeah.
This is the place to go off into the ocean, I think.
Yeah.
But the waves, I don't know, it just looks like what do you call that when they sweep you out?
Yeah, the currents. Well, you hear about that every couple of years. Someone seems to get swept away, don't they?
From here,
the undercurrents. The undercurrents.
Undertow.
That's it.
Some days it's got to be super strong. It just even looks strong.
It looks strong.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to discuss with you before letting you carry on with your day is it legal? Is it officially legal to be a street performer in Venice?
Over the years, they've made different plans.
Because I heard about there was the ordinance in 1990s, which you fought again and kind of won. But right now,
basically, it comes down to not so much whether you can play or not, but whether you can sell. And so my lawsuit, basically, the final stipulation was that I could sell CDs and anything inextricably intertwined with my message.
Okay.
So that opens it for me to stand there from 9 o'clock in the morning until dark, selling CDs, pamphlets, whatever I'm going to sell.
Are you actually, so your performance though, is it, so you're actually selling?
Yeah.
Or are you actually performing a guitar sort of riff?
Matt Dowd went to court and won a lawsuit. That's what it would be, Matt Dowd versus City of Los Angeles, so that he could play, so he could literally play music.
Yeah,
within the.
And he won.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, you guys won.
Within the. What are the words that you say?
With the time constraints,
when the sound is within the ambient sound level of the area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can make as much sound, but people have stretched that out, so they bring all kinds of sound systems. They just don't let you bring like a concert stage unless you sign the permits and pay for the permits, because they do have concerts and stuff out there, but those people are permitted, and they pay for those areas. But other than that, you see a lot of people like doing all kinds of electronic
Yeah.
music. Music has just evolved to that.
Mm.
I wouldn't say that that's true everywhere, but definitely at Venice Beach. They tried lots of different things. Like they tried making spaces. No one ever paid attention to the spaces really until they have different enforcement policies where for a time they'll come and try to enforce them. Like this last couple of weeks, for the vendors on the east side, they had painted this white line.
Mm.
So they came down and to vendors who were paying $30,000 a month for rent.
Okay, yeah.
They
Excuse me?
they told them that they had to move their stuff behind the white line and gave them $400 to $1,000 tickets if they didn't move it after they were warned.
Who's they?
The police, policed by whoever the bureaucrats that run all that.
Wow.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They're still suffering from that now. The vendors who are paying rent can't bring this stuff out will get fined if they try to bring this stuff out past the white line. You know, the white line that's drawn next to the vendors?
Me.
No, I'm not.
And is it really like close to the...
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there. So the whole point is...
Have you seen the white line?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. If you go down there and look at the vendor side, you'll see a white line all the way down.
It's there. You've just never really paid attention to it.
And you can't go over it or you're going to get fined.
You can't set up anything for sale on the other side of that white line.
Okay.
If you have a business.
Yeah.
But I mean, over the years, they've come up with these policies like that.
And how
like roller skates, when we first started doing it, and Alice got the skates out there, I couldn't believe there were so many people skating that they did the white line thing back then too. Mm. I said, they could never enforce that. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
So there used to be asphalt, not all the cement like it is now. Everything is turned into cement. It used to be wood and asphalt. The bathrooms were made of wood. And the street was and they painted a white line down the asphalt, just right past where the Starbucks that they just tore out in the whole area. That used to be Hell's Angels place.
But, it did?
Yeah, that was their parking lot. You didn't mess around that parking lot. But Alice put the skates in there. And they moved out of the way for Alice to put her skate people in there.
It's the legendary Alice.
Alice.
Back into the conversation. So
the roller boogie woman.
Yeah.
Is she with us?
I haven't seen her for a long time. A lot of people, there used to be Skateboard Mama.
Skateboard Mama.
Yeah, all these people, but the time is just taking people out. They can't live that much longer.
But it's such a great community, the skating.
Sort of. It has its good points and its bad points.
Okay.
Yeah, anything does. There's always a positive and negatives to everything. Well, people are happy and unhappy about things.
Well, you're still going with the running, the meditation, the big heart.
As much as it's possible.
You know, so when can we hear this album? You're working on an album with your band.
I worked for a couple years. Dennis Hogg, he figured out how I was tuned. We worked on because I tuned my special way. And thanks to Tony Iommi.
Oh, there you go.
The Godfather.
Wow. Wow.
And anyway.
You met Tony Iommi, yeah? Or you just kind of...
I met him not like I'm meeting with you.
Yeah.
I would go to those concerts and Perry Farrell, I got to...
Oh, yeah.
But the thing was, back then, you know how long ago that was. We're talking about Black Sabbath in the 60s.
Yeah.
Those guys were creating that weird stuff before anyone even understood what the hell was going on.
They invented heavy metal, basically.
They invented it, because of the tuning and everything else. Yeah, that sound.
Tell us
flip people's mind up. What was I talking about to start out?
Well, we were talking about
Perry.
We've gone off on a couple of tangents here, but tell us your Jane's Addiction, Perry Farrell, because you played with them at the Universal Amphitheater.
Yeah, but that's another whole story. And I would have to describe all the streets and everything. But basically, Windward Avenue is not what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
Back then.
Okay.
But what I was talking about, I know what I was talking about, the white line.
Yeah.
Can you imagine thousands of people on a 4th of July all skating and bicycling, and cops like standing at a certain corner, writing out tickets because they were over the white line.
Yeah.
What bureaucrat came up with that?
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Did what happen?
Were cops really doing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the tickets to the people.
Do you know what? I don't know what the law is, because we've got, as we just heard, we've got dogs upstairs and beside us. I heard that it used to be illegal to take a dog onto the beach. There's even signs.
It was.
There's
It
even
still
signs
is.
up there. Yeah, but you see people with dogs on the beach.
Well, people do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
usually what happens is there's a certain period of time where the police officers are detailed to go out and enforce certain ordinances.
Mm,
And so they spend a certain amount of time enforcing those ordinances.
mm,
And that's it.
yeah. Okay.
Are you friends with a lot of people on the boardwalk?
People have different definition of friends.
Okay.
Usually friends means that you're going to go have lunch and do some extraneous activity with someone.
Right.
If I have that much extra time, usually I'm trying to put together some musician like Darren Hogg, to get them to figure out how to play with me,
Okay.
Mm,
or me
Okay.
to play with them.
Or you
Yeah.
to play with them.
yeah.
Steve Perry, doesn't he live in Venice?
I forget. I don't go to his house.
You don't.
No.
I want a CD. I want to
when
buy
the
one of yours.
well, when it comes out, when the music
Well, I
comes
have a
out.
CD now, yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, out in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah, we
Oh,
want
okay.
one
Now,
so we can film it.
I guess you just sell these to people on the street. Is there
Yeah,
anywhere that people
that's
can
one of
send
the-
off for one or anything?
Yeah, harryperryband.com.
Okay, well, I will put a link below this for people if they want to get
Yeah,
hold
you
of
can
your
get
CD.
T-shirts,
Now,
CDs.
now, besides being out on the boardwalk, do you have any actual gigs planned or coming up?
I
or-
do. Usually people will contact me to remind me that the gig is happening on the Just like you.
Yeah.
So
cool.
there's some stuff coming up. This month, because this is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not with the band. It's solo.
Okay.
They just wanted me to come and perform as Harry Perry with the skates and do numerous songs in their entirety.
Sorry, where is this going to
I
happen?
don't know. It's got to be posted somewhere.
Okay, well, you know what? Find out.
We'll find out.
Text me
Yeah.
him. I'll put a link below in the
Right.
podcast.
And we also just wanted to say that about being a Grateful Deadhead. I did.
Oh, yeah. That's how I stay alive.
Mm,
I got to say that it's called Shakedown,
mm,
where the people that believe in Grateful Dead music and the whole energy, it's such a peaceful, excellent vibe, where
Mhm.
people like come out and sell all kinds of things that they made. And if you're not one of those people, maybe you just sell beer on ice and grilled cheese.
mm,
But anyway, there's an area like where the band really doesn't come out there. Fish, I've seen members of Fish come out during Shakedown. Their Shakedown at their shows,
mm.
and even play. So what's the bass player's name in Fish?
I don't know.
Anyway, I've seen him in the parking lot, and I saw the guitar player riding through in the Jeep,
Mm,
with his girlfriend taking pictures of Shakedown.
What
Wow.
is Shakedown? What does that even mean?
Like I said, that's when people put the pop-ups
yeah.
and then their stuff before and after the show.
Yeah. Your brothers mentioned this to me.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
the show, it's called Blowout. Before the show, it's Shakedown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Before and after. I
But
like
there is something really magical about that community.
Yeah, the people manage, for the most part, to get along. The only time I've seen people not get along is because they weren't really deadheads traveling from city to city. They were just some people like up from the city that heard about
yeah,
it.
okay. Thought it was the
They
place to
wanted
be.
to move in on the space,
Yeah.
try to sell something too,
Yeah.
and they want to get into arguments about whose space it is.
Yeah.
Is there one deadhead experience that stands out in your
One.
mind? I mean, there's so many, but one that you can share.
No, there's not one. It's a whole lifestyle.
Well, I guess it's the classic. If you can remember it, then you weren't there.
Well,
You know.
Sort of. The thing is though, like I finally missed a show on July 11th, but not because I was in a car wreck. This car
Right.
wreck.
You've been to every other show?
Pretty much almost all their shows. Traveling from because as soon as they announced the tour, I was making plans.
Yeah.
Getting the vehicle. The only other band I'd put that much energy into other than Fish is System of a Down.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they
That's
actually
kinda
brought
heavy.
me up on stage for the tour.
They
Wow.
did?
Yeah, System of a Down, Shavo.
Wow.
What happened? Where were you?
All over the country.
Wow.
The whole
Wow.
country. It was Ozzy Osbourne's Heavy Metal Festival. It's called Ozfest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ozzy basically would play out in the second stage outside with all the other bands like Black Label and all those people. And System would be the headliner in the main stadium.
Mm.
And they're putting up another show right now.
Mm. How did you know them then?
Here
Just from
in
being-
Venice.
Are they an LA band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they lived out in the valley. I think they still live out there.
And they
Yeah.
said, come on up,
Yeah,
perform.
it's not that simple. Shavo, the first time he brought me up, he stopped the show.
Mm.
And he goes in the mic, "What the fuck are you doing? Get your ass up here on the stage."
Mm.
And so that was my first experience of the best tour that I've been on so far.
That's brilliant.
Sold out almost every city. People would know their songs and sing every word.
How
Wow.
amazing.
Grateful Dead is sort of like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Fish does a lot of covers, but Trey does a really good job of covering almost all those bands that he covers.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Here's a quick question, and then we will wrap this up. These people, they all have dedicated followings. Do you actually have fans out on the street, out on the boardwalk? Is there people who are?
Oh yeah, they buy my CDs and my clothes.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not talking about.
They know my songs. I can go
Yeah.
places and,
Okay, that's what I
and
mean.
they'll sing Hitchhike to Hollywood. Or,
Okay. Yeah. So there's people who.
all over the country too, not just here.
Yeah.
They'll sing Skate Town Ball songs because I've been doing this for so long. People have had my records,
Yeah.
and they'll come up to me in Philadelphia
Yeah.
and want me to play some Skate Town Ball, dude. I'm the only
Yeah.
one who can.
Yeah.
Some Hitchhike to
Wow.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because I've been selling records all over the country, a
Yeah.
lot of times with the band. The
Yeah.
band, working with a band going from town to town is a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not simple.
Yeah. So.
Are you reading anything? Do you read?
Yeah. Okay.
I have some time to read, but I don't want people to know what I'm thinking, so I usually don't tell them what I'm reading.
Okay.
But what I have spent a lot of time reading is books about yoga written by Yogi Bhajan.
Mm.
And there's a holy book called Siddhi Guru Granth. I try to understand what the people 600 years ago were actually saying when they wrote, because it was written by divinely inspired. And the way that things are written are so poetic and so mixed around in a way. I try to spend time trying to understand what they were saying.
What's it called?
The Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib.
Oh, you say that so nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the Dasan Granth as written by Guru Gobind Singh,
Wow.
the 10th master. And people say, I have to say this, that the Guru now is the 11th Guru, the original 10 Guru, but the 11th Guru is the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib.
How do we find out more about that subject?
Just Google it at this point.
I wouldn't know how to spell
Everything
it.
is online. Guru. Guru.
Okay.
The Siddhi Guru.
Yeah.
And just put in Sikh Dharma. SIKH. Dharma.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot more than I could say in 5 minutes or 5 hours or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I'm always interested in what people do when they wake up in the morning, like, or do they meditate? Do you pray? Do you?
Well, every day is different. Like this day was different because of the rain.
Yeah.
But no, this is making me have to use the bathroom.
Okay. Well, listen, on that note,
And then take a picture.
let's say goodbye. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you.
You need to come back because
look-
there's so many stories.
Look
Yeah, there are
forward
a
to
lot of
seeing.
stories.
Look forward to seeing you here, there, everywhere. You are Venice.
Well, hopefully I'll manifest this next band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put links to everything below the podcast, so anyone watching this, there you can get in touch with Harry and see when he's playing, what he's doing, and get his music and things.
Oh, it's such
Okay.
an honor.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for thinking
Yeah.
of
All
me
right, then.
Such an honor.
in a positive light.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Okay, I'm here with Harry. I came for my run today. First time I've seen him after the show, so I'll cut this in. So he's just said to me he reckons him on skates and the guitar and performing is more interesting than the running. Well, here's the man himself, the legend, running, and I think that's pretty interesting. Getting the miles in. So you've been running for 2 hours so far today, yeah?
Yeah.
Harry? Nice. So how much longer have you got to go, do you think?
I don't know what time it is. I quit taking a watch with me.
Okay, it is now, it's about 20 past 8, something like that. I've ran 3.5 miles and I started at about 10 to 8. So it's about,
Well, I slowed down to talk with you now, but
all right.
I think I'll probably get back to Gold's at about 8:45.
Oh, okay, is that your end bit?
That's where I'm going to go now.
Okay, man, well listen, I'm going to let you keep running on, but I'll edit this into the show. He's the real deal. This guy's the real deal.
All right. See you at LA Marathon.